and we come up and see Roger Comstone sitting in a seat by himself, looking out the window of the aircraft, and far below we see we see an ocean, see a huge sea below him, and it zooms in a little bit on kind of what he's looking at, and we see that there is, a sparse cloud cover, and then in the middle of this gigantic sea, a small faded island can be seen all the way in the distance far below. His expression gets a little tense for a second, and we go into Roger's mind. What is Roger thinking in this moment as he's looking out this window on a flight to Peru?
So he sees this island and sees the clouds whipping past it. And I imagine watching the clouds kind of obscure the island. The island pops back out, then obscure it again, whipping past. All of a sudden it changes to like an above shot of a car zipping along a highway. And we see this car put its blinker on and pull into a rest stop. And the driver's side door opens and Roger from 10 years ago hops out. He's a little less tan. Maybe he's got a few less wrinkles. He still looks, like he's lived 100 lifetimes, but...
Yeah, he still posts that other operation, right? So
yeah,
he's in rough shape.
He's in rough shape. He never looked great.
He watched an FBI agent's jaw get ripped right off of his body. So.
Even his time on the island, all it did was really tan him. It didn't make him... didn't relax him. So he walks inside the rest stop, past the Starbucks, past a Roy Rogers... past a vending machine selling iPhones. Never understood those. Who buys an iPhone from a vending machine? He's heading to the men's room, and maybe like right outside the men's room there's a payphone, and he eyes it for a second, hesitates, and then just walks by into the bathroom. A couple minutes later he comes back out, passes the payphone again, but this time he stops, turns around, walks up to it, puts some change in, and dials. He's like, hey, I'm actually on my way back into town. Just finished a job up in New York. Thought maybe we could grab a bite to eat or something. And from there, it just cuts to the sound of a bed furiously thumping. The wooden headboard just banging against a wall. Sounds of passion and hot animal lovemaking. And it goes from this...
Sydney is emphatically nodding.
She's into it.
She's like, oh yeah.
Not enough detail. I want more detail.
Sweat dripping off of two lithe bodies, one of which is covered in scars,
and the other is a parrot.
And the other
Feathers fly.
feathers flying, squawking like you've never heard.
Passionate squawking.
Like
you've never heard.
The fury of this hot sex builds to a crescendo, and then just silence. It's clearly time has passed. The lights are off. It's a little darker in the room, and we see Roger slip out of bed. Maybe a woman with her naked back turned to us, asleep on the other side. He gets up quietly, but he kicks a couple of natty Bo cans. They make a little sound on the floor. He turns to see if he woke the woman up. She stirs a little bit, but doesn't wake. He heads into the bathroom. The sound of his fierce urine stream comes up, and then it starts to fade into the background as we hear sounds of gunshots, explosions, helicopters whirring, and then the sound of that monster in Keene, New York. He tries to just focus on his stream, but all these sounds, these voices in his head, he just shakes his head to try to clear them out, and then he just pulls up his pants and quickly sits on the toilet, breathing in and out deeply. And as he's sitting there, he looks down and sees a cover of a travel magazine that says, "Escape to your own island. Visit Rincon, Puerto Rico." And he just gets lost looking at that magazine cover. for a little too long, and then we cut to outside as Roger exits a quaint Cape Cod home with a white picket fence. Just as the sun is coming up, he takes one look back at the house, lights up a cigarette, and then walks away.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Man, this is the most R-rated scene we've had in the show.
It was pretty R-rated.
And in the TV version of it, we show everything.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they cut away. They do like the...
We show everything.
Do the credits still say no animals were harmed in the making of this production? After that scene is fully shown? Okay.
Who shows the soft core stuff? HBO? Stars?
No, this is unprecedented HBO. First time they've showed full penetration with camera angles like you didn't know were possible
Why?
on HBO. Why would you put the camera there?
Why would you put the camera there? They don't even do that in porn.
What are we trying to accomplish with that camera angle?
Is that a GoPro?
What are you doing?
How does this advance the narrative?